Scotland has a huge range of protected regions, including 43 national nature reserves and marine areas. Its two national parks, Loch Lomond and the Trossachs and the Cairngorms, are packed with potential for outdoors adventures. From stargazing at a designated dark sky reserve to riding long-distance cycling routes, hiking, fishing, birdwatching and skiing, these are the top things to do in Scotland's national parks. Loch Lomond and the Trossachs. Loch Lomond and the Trossachs is Scotland's first national park, created in 2002. The park extends over a huge area, from Balloch north to Tindrum and Killin, and from Callander west to the forests of Cowal. The Bonny Banks and Bonny Braes of Loch Lomond, a scenic region of hills, lochs and healthy fresh air, have long been Glasgow's rural retreat. The picturesque Trossachs, with thickly forested hills and romantic lochs, have likewise long been popular for their wild highland beauty. There are walking and cycling routes throughout the national park to meet all abilities. Long-distance routes include the West Highland Way, 96 miles, 154 kilometers, which runs along Loch Lomond's eastern shore, and the Rob Roy Way, 80 miles, 128 kilometers, heads from Drymen to Pitlochry via the Trossachs. The Three Lochs Way, 34 miles, 55 kilometers, loops west from Balloch through Helensburgh and Arrochar before returning to Loch Lomond at Inveruglas. The Great Trossachs Path, 30 miles, 48 kilometers, links the loch with the Trossachs. Rowerdennen is the starting point for ascents of Ben Lomond, 974 meters, a popular and relatively straightforward, if strenuous, climb. Cyclists can bike the mostly traffic-free Clyde and Loch Lomond cycleway that links Glasgow to Balloch, 20 miles, 34 kilometers, where it joins the West Loch Lomond cycle path, which continues along the loch shore to Tarbet, 10 miles. There are many shorter cycle routes available too. Visiting Loch Lomond and the Trossachs, Loch Lomond is just 20 miles from Glasgow, easily accessed by train and bus routes, while the Trossachs can be reached from Edinburgh, often via Stirling. There are plenty of accommodations around Loch Lomond, from hotels aimed at tour groups to characterful traditional inns and hostels for walkers on the West Highland Way. The Trossachs is well stocked with quality B&B choices, with Callander in particular offering a wide selection, and Aberfoyle and Killin also making good stops. Campsites book up fast in summer, wild camping is permitted. The length of Loch Lomond means that access between the western part of the park and the Trossachs in the east is either in the far north of the region via Crean-Lerich or the far south via Drymen. Walkers and cyclists can link the two more easily via the waterbuses that criss-cross Loch Lomond. The Cairngorms National Park is the largest national park in the UK, more than twice the size of the Lake District. It stretches from Aviemore in the north to the Angus Glens in the south, and from Dalwhinnie in the west to Ballater and Royal Deeside in the east. The park encompasses the highest landmass in Britain, a broad mountain plateau, riven only by the deep valleys of the Lyrig Grew and Loch Avon, with an average altitude of more than 1,000 meters and including 5 of the 6 highest summits in the UK. This wild mountain landscape of granite and heather has a subarctic climate and supports rare alpine tundra vegetation and high-altitude bird species, such as snowbunting, ptarmigan and dotterel. There are plenty of walking and cycling routes across the national park, with bike hire widely available. Cairngorm Mountain is Scotland's most popular ski area, and Grantown is a favourite with anglers. Southwest of Aviemore, the Spey widens into Loch Inch, home of the Loch Inch Outdoor Centre, which offers canoeing, windsurfing, sailing, mountain biking and fishing. Stargazing and astronomy events are held at least monthly from August to April in the Tomintoul and Glenlivet Cairngorms Dark Sky Park, a designated dark sky reserve. The royal family's holiday home, Balmoral Castle, is located within the national park, and is open to visitors April to August. Visiting the Cairngorms, the main accommodation centres in the Cairngorms include Aviemore, Newtonmore and Kingussie, Grantown on Spey, Ballater and Braemar, but wild camping is the best way to experience the remote glens and mountains of the national park. The main A9 Perth-Inverness Road and railway line run along the western and northern boundaries of the national park, while the A93 Aberdeen-Braemar Road provides the main access to the eastern part. The Angus Glens in the south are reached along minor roads branching out from the small towns of Currymuir and Brechin, to the north of Dundee. The nearest airport is at Inverness, an hour's drive north of Aviemore.